My name is Michael. I'm 11 years old. I live in South Fayette, and the name of my story is Practice Makes Perfect. Once upon a time, there was a young 1/16th size violin named Vinny. Vinny Violin was just starting to play notes, just quarter notes. He wasn't very good at playing quarter notes. All he could play was the note A. Then, Vinny started learning the rest of the notes B, C, D, E, F, and G, which are all the notes that can be played on him. He was starting to get really good at these notes. Then, Vinny learned to scale. He had to play the notes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. With a little practice, he got used to it. He even thought, wow, I just had to practice it and now it's really easy. Now Vinny started learning his first song, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. The notes were all scattered in different places, and he had to learn when to play the notes, what notes to play, and how long to hold them. He kept practicing until he played it perfectly. Vinny suddenly grew bigger and became a 1/8 violin. His friends, Charlie Cello and Bubba Bass, were really proud and encouraged him to keep on practicing. One day, Vinny heard the most beautiful music he had ever heard in his life. He realized it was coming from his good friend Violet Viola. "How are you making such exquisite sounds?" he asked. "With practice, I learned how to shift to the higher notes by moving my fingers up closer toward the bridge," said Violet. Vinny thought if he practiced hard, he could play just as well as Violet, and that's exactly what he did. He practiced, and pretty soon he was able to play the higher notes just like Violet. He grew to a 1/2 size violin. "The more I practice, the bigger I get. Maybe one day I'll become a full-sized violin," he thought. Vinny couldn't wait to go to Heinz Hall to hear the Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra perform his favorite, Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. As he excitedly sat in the audience, he couldn't help but notice the violins rocking their fingers back and forth on the strings, making the notes have a beautiful flutter. He loved the sound. On his way home, he ran into Charlie Cello and asked him what the strange hand movements were. Charlie chuckled, telling him that it is called vibrato. "Oh, I think I've heard of that before," said Vinny. He even tried using the vibrato technique, and the more he practiced it, the better he got at it. All that practicing made him grow to a 3/4 size violin. Charlie Cello, Bubba Bass, and Violet Viola realized that all of Vinny's practicing made him good enough to perform in the symphony orchestra with them. When they asked Vinny to perform with them, he was over the moon with excitement. He couldn't believe that he would actually be playing in a real orchestra. When the performance started, his fingers moved effortlessly on the strings, and the music sounded amazing. After the performance, he was so proud of himself and realized that all of his practicing paid off. He was now a full-sized violin. My name is Michael, and Vinny is my violin.